We're at Evergreen Family Medicine in Roseburg, Oregon, and I'm with Dr. John Powell, who wears a lot of hats here at Evergreen, actually. Why don't you tell us all the things that you are responsible for here at Evergreen Family Medicine?
Okay. Well, Brian, you know, it's a privilege to get to do what I do, but I serve as the director of urgent care and then occupational medicine, the hospital services here. I'm also a medical review officer, so in charge of the drug screening program. But again, I'm just a part of the team. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, and we all kind of work together to get the job done, and so it's a privilege.
Well, apparently you're doing a great job, because the reason we wanted to talk to you today was about a comment that was made by a student who was here at Evergreen who remarked about how happy everyone seemed here. What a great place this was to work. And so that's not you or I saying that. That's coming from somebody who really got an up close and personal experience here at Evergreen. And I was hoping you'd be able to share that story, a little bit of the background, and how it pertains to really the bigger goals that you have here at Evergreen.
You know, we also like to give back to the educational process here, and it's a lot of fun to have and host medical students from other medical schools. This comment actually came from a third-year medical student that was rotating through our hospital program, and at the end of the rotation, he said, you know, you guys seem happy. You seem fulfilled in what you do, and that's not what he had encountered at all the locations that he had practiced or participated in and at other locations. And the answer that I gave him was somewhat generic initially. I said, you know, we're in a small community here. We don't view our patients as patients only. They're friends. We get to share experiences here, local school activities, and we see them at the grocery store, and so we're held to account for what we do. At the same time, we get to see the impact that we make, and we all want to make a difference, and so we get to see that. The reality is that the answer probably should have been more detailed, because the answer is we're not always happy. You know, sometimes we're tired, sometimes we're frustrated with the same medical bureaucracy that patients are frustrated with, and sometimes we are sad with some of the news that we have to deliver. But the reality is our job is not to be happy. Our job is to carry out our responsibilities in a competent way. And we get to do that here. After all, this is a great job. We get to help patients understand their chronic illness. We get to help them understand the symptoms that they feel in that context. Sometimes we get to be detectives, trying to find that elusive diagnoses, and that can be very fulfilling. Let's be honest, sometimes life is a terminal diagnosis, as we know, and that can lead to some pretty authentic moments. And those authentic moments are what we went into medicine to begin with. That compassion, that honesty, and we can really help that individual and their families navigate that difficult time. And that's very, very fulfilling. But at the same time, I'd also be remiss to say it's always fulfilling. Sometimes you have a patient that comes in and they have some unrealistic expectations. They went to Google and they have this diagnosis. They really want to hold on to that diagnosis, and so we help them understand maybe that's not the diagnosis that we think they have. Sometimes they want an opiate or something that's really not in their best interest, and so we get an opportunity to try to get them to the same place. Sometimes we can do that, sometimes we can't, and that can sometimes lead to some negative reviews, on Google or Yelp. But the reality is our job is not to make everybody happy. Our job is to carry out our responsibilities in a competent fashion, and that can lead to fulfillment. And fulfillment, after all, is much more likely to lead to joy and happiness. And what could be better than that?
So how does that play into your process of possibly selecting the right people to come to work here at Evergreen? The
person who comes to Evergreen is dedicated. They went into medicine for the right reasons. They understand that it's not all ER or quick gratification in terms of the process of solving problems. It's a process that can take time. It can take buy-in from not just the patient but the family, solving complex problems, and you need a team to do that. So they have to be team players. If they think that they're the solution to every problem, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle everywhere they are. And so Evergreen, what makes us unique is that we totally bought into the team concept. We allow folks to operate at the top of their license. We recognize there's a system in which to get the job done, and we all play a part of that system. And I think that's very attractive because physicians, when they go into medicine, they went into medicine to do medicine. They didn't go into medicine to fill out paperwork or check boxes. And this is a physician-led group. And so we understand that. And by setting up systems, we have the whole team work together. So we put people in the right spot to hit home runs, to do well. And I think that's part of the satisfaction that student may have seen.
All things that make Evergreen Family Medicine and Roseburg, Oregon unique. So thank you, Dr. John.
Thank you.